Nasal congestion is common. People have become accustomed to treating with drops, and this is what modern medicine tells us today. But this only relieves symptoms and does not allow a person to truly recover. So, what should be done to prevent a runny nose from returning? What is absolutely prohibited? What mistakes do people usually make? Watch this video to the end, and you will discover a set of biologically correct methods that will enable you to live without a runny nose. I'm Dr. Vasil Chaika, and let's get started. First, let's examine the reasons why a runny nose occurs. Reflex reasons are one cause. What does this mean? We have a mucous membrane in the nose and the sinus areas, which are, of course, served by blood vessels, and these vessels are innervated. Therefore, a change in innervation can lead to prolonged swelling. When does this often happen? For instance, it occurs when there is cervical osteochondrosis, or when the first or second cervical vertebrae are displaced. This will cause constant nasal congestion. And a person might use drops or other methods, but nothing will help. Another reason is an allergy, which is a reaction to certain substances that we breathe in. We might not even be aware of it, but the receptors in the nasal mucosa are contacting these allergens in the air, causing a reaction. Also, a runny nose or nasal congestion occurs when we refer to this condition as RV, an acute respiratory viral infection. During these reactions, the nose will become congested. Of course, there is also the mistaken belief that, for example, nasal congestion can be caused by food, like dairy products, or due to a deficiency of certain vitamins. But these are myths, because if your nose gets congested from dairy products, for example, it's an allergic reaction. If your nose gets congested from any food, again, it's an allergic reaction. Therefore, if you exclude this food from your diet, it won't happen. Let's now discuss the mistakes people make and what should be done correctly to quickly get rid of a runny nose. Since the pharmaceutical industry recommends, and through doctors implements, that a runny nose should be treated with various kinds of drops, people indeed use these drops. But what does this lead to? Dependency on the drops. And this is written in the instructions for the drops. If a person constantly uses drops when their nose is congested, then eventually they can't do without these drops. In other words, they actually become dependent on these drops. And this is profitable for the pharmaceutical business. Another mistake that people make is that they begin to heat intensively. That is, they use devices, for instance, that create temperatures above, say, 40 degrees in heat. This, on the contrary, increases the swelling and, of course, worsens the condition because it causes the nose to become even more congested. It's important to remember that nasal congestion is an accumulation of fluid, i.e., swelling of the mucous membrane. Therefore, the correct physiological help for a person is to reduce this swelling. So, what are the methods that physiologically and correctly reduce this swelling? Let's go through them one by one. The first method that helps reduce the swelling of the nasal mucosa is the use of saline solutions. You can prepare these saline solutions at home. For 250 milliliters of water, take 5 grams, that's 1 teaspoon of salt. You must completely dissolve the salt in this water, and then use it to rinse the nose. How to do it? You can take an ordinary syringe, of course without the needle, and drop 20 milliliters accordingly. On the tip of the nose, you can put a soft tube from a dropper, lay your head on the side, insert this tube into the upper nostril, and gently pour in this saline water so that it flows out. It can flow out either through the throat, meaning you can spit it out, or it can flow out through the nose. So, you need 10 milliliters in one nostril, then change the position, and also 10 milliliters in the other nostril. This method, of course, is suitable for adults because children cannot do this. There's also another very simple method that we can use, which is when we can do a certain massage. This method is suitable for both children and adults. There are 2 options when you press on certain points. These points are actually projections of the exit of the facial nerve. Where are these points located? Right where our nose wings are, parallel. Here where the eyes are. Here is the point in the center, where actually we have the third eye. And here, at the tip of the eyebrows. You can massage by pressing, you can massage with circular motions for 15 to 20 seconds. But there is a simpler option, suitable for both adults and children. It's rubbing. That is, what do you take, for example, for a small child or even an adult? You take and rub first in this direction, like this. You can rub like this as I'm showing. It doesn't matter how you do it, until light redness. Then you rub the bridge of the nose. You can do it like this, you can rub like this, however, it is comfortable for you. Then the wings of the nose, like this, in this way, like this. That is, you are effectively reaching that reflex zone. And this will also help you. Moreover, your secretion will immediately increase a bit. Then you can blow your nose, or, for example, use a bulb syringe for a small child to remove these snots. There is another method that helps, but not everyone can do it, especially when, for example, people have chronic sinusitis. We can use ordinary urine. Yes, it may sound very strange and somewhat disgusting to you, but urine, your own urine, not someone else's, can act as a very good remedy. What do we need to do? We need to collect this urine in a jar, scoop it up just like this in your palm, close one nostril, and spit it out through your mouth. But under no circumstances should you drink the urine, because it contains ammonia, and you will be poisoning yourself. That is, using a compress and urine to wash something with urine is possible, but consuming urine internally is strictly prohibited. This is a very effective method, but not everyone can use it. If you cannot, of course, do this. You can take the same saline solution, as we did with the syringe. So, scoop it up in your palm, inhale, and spit it out through your mouth. But remember, when you use salt, if the salt has not dissolved completely in the water, it can settle on the mucous membrane of the nose and cause irritation. And this is why, after 3 to 4 days of such procedures, your nose will be congested again. So, be careful with saline water. Make sure that there are no salt crystals in the water. Use it no more than 3 to 4 days. By using such methods, you can help yourself. There is another method, also essentially reflexive. We need to create conditions for breathing moist and cool air. Why exactly this way? The humidity should be between 60–65%, and the temperature should be 18 to 19 degrees Celsius. This is because moist and cool air will also help reduce swelling. And our task is to reduce the swelling. That is, by all the methods we do, we reduce the amount of water in the nasal mucosa. And this actually unblocks the nose, and you will breathe freely. At the same time, there will be no development of any dependence. And if you use, for example, pharmaceutical drugs, they will cause dependence very quickly, and you will not be able to do without them. And then, even if you stop using them, your nose will still be congested. Therefore, use drops cautiously and better use these physiological and simple methods, and then you will be healthy. But how to achieve, for example, conditions of humidity and temperature in the summer? Because in winter, this is very simple. You can just open a window for yourself, put on a hat, go outside, for example, and that will be enough. How to do this in the summer when it is very hot? Of course, you can use an air conditioner or a humidifier. But if you don't have one and you are at home in the street, plus 20 or plus 30, what then? How to breathe this moist, cool air? And yes, the first very simple way is to open the tap of cold water in the shower. Go there and stay there for a few minutes. That will be enough. Also, you can simply open the refrigerator. Just don't eat anything from the refrigerator, but just breathe this moist, cool air. And this will also help you. Use these simple recommendations and be healthy. Only by using a comprehensive approach in the modern world can you be healthy. This was Dr. Vasil Chaika. Until the next videos. In today's world, only a thoughtful and reflective person can truly be healthy.